Money is a tool, not a destination. And the way you think about it shapes the way you attract it. Hear that? The way you think about money shapes the way you attract it. Wealth is not just about numbers, it's about options. And a rich life is about the richness that surrounds you. It allows you to have contribution. Welcome to Relaunch to a Rich Life, the podcast where breakthrough stories meet unstoppable success. I'm Hilary DeCesare, and each week we explore how relaunches turn setbacks into setups for wealth, impact, and true fulfillment. Ready to flip your world and dive into your rich life? Let's do this. Let's get real. When I say rich life, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A number in your bank account? A bigger house? That's what we're taught. The rules were written before we even had a say in anything. But here's the truth. I'm throwing out all the rules because I've met too many people who have everything they thought would actually make them happy. And guess what? They still feel empty. And others who don't fit the traditional success mold, but wake up every day feeling truly alive. I'm not saying money, success, and nice things aren't great. They are. But they need to be aligned with not just your outer world, but also your inner world. Otherwise, you're going to keep chasing something that never truly fulfills you. And that's why I'm here, to redefine success, to shift your mindset, and to give you the exact steps to relaunch into your version of a rich life. And that all starts with 3HQ, your headquarters for success. 3HQ stands for head, and that's all neuroscience, rewiring your brain for success and breaking free from limiting beliefs. Your heart, this is that modernized twist to self-development, tapping into your emotions, passion, and confidence. And then highest self, this is where ancient wisdom meets up with your energy, aligning with your future self, and then stepping into the frequency of success. The secret? It's not about working harder. It's about shifting your frequencies so that success naturally flows to you. And so let's dive into how do we make that happen with the 6 pillars. We're breaking this down into 6 non-negotiables because wealth without balance is just another trap. Health and wellness. Your body is the foundation, and you know this is true. One day you're fine, and then the next you're hit with the flu or exhaustion, and suddenly your only focus is getting better. For me, health became my number 1 priority. When I heard those words, you have cancer, you've got melanoma. Well, at that point, you can't enjoy success if you have such a heavy, heavy burden on top of you. You can't enjoy success if you're exhausted, stressed, or burned out. I got to tell you this, energy is everything. So here's a quick tip. The simplest, richest investment, you got to prioritize you, sleep. You got to get your butt off the couch, movement, and you got to fuel your body with what really counts. And you know it. You know when you feel good about what you eat and when you don't. It matters, and it matters a lot. So the real currency, when you think about it, is around your happiness. And there is a study, in fact, it's the longest running study on happiness, prove that deep relationships, not money, determine a fulfilling life. Who you surround yourself with, you get it. It matters. Make sure they elevate you and not drain you. Evaluate all connections. Anything from your home to family to people you work with, friends, everyone can get either that plus, they light you up, a neutral sign, or a minus, yep, they drain you. It is super important to balance and make sure that you are investing in being with like energy people. This is something I say hundreds of times each month. So I got to tell you, career and purpose, it's definitely more than a paycheck. So if you're only working for money right now, you're building a cage, not a career. The richest people aren't just making money, they're making impact, both. And so personal happiness and mindset, when you think about it, the secret ingredient to success doesn't create happiness. Happiness creates success. When you tune in to what truly fulfills you, everything shifts. Financial freedom, the small money shift. Money is a tool, not a destination. And the way you think about it shapes the way you attract it. Hear that. The way you think about money shapes the way you attract it. Wealth is not just about numbers, it's about options. And a rich life is about the richness that surrounds you. It allows you to have contribution and legacy, which is so critical. What you leave behind. The richest people in the world, they don't just accumulate wealth, they build something bigger than themselves. So let me ask you this: what impact do you want to leave? So let's talk about the missing piece: relaunching into a rich life. Here's where most people get stuck. They actually focus on one of these pillars and then they ignore the rest. That's why so many millionaires feel unfulfilled. Trust me, doing this 25 years as a coach, I've spent my fair share with them, and they do feel much of the time unfulfilled. And then also why so many dreamers never create wealth. So again, here's the truth. You don't have to choose between money and fulfillment, success and happiness, impact and wealth. You can, and I feel like I need a drum roll, you can have it all if, don't you hate when people do that? If you're willing to relaunch. We call it the relaunch effect, because when you think about the relaunch effect, it actually, when you focus on one thing, begins to actually focus in on the primary area, and then it affects the other areas. So those other areas change as well. And the relaunch in action is one of the fastest ways to have you do something called an energetic relaunch. It is absolutely mind-bending, a process that we created to be able to help you do this, and it's called Tune In. You can do it anywhere, anytime, and the more you do it, this I can say for sure, the more success we have seen. So what is Tune In? It is a 4-step process that instantly raises your energy in any of the areas that you want to focus on. If it's health, if it's wealth, if it's relationship, it rewires your brain and puts you in a peak performance energetic mode. And guess what? That's where your goals are. That's where your happiness lies. So let me break it down. Step 1. This is where you challenge or you put out the intention that you are trying to go for. It is very head-based of the 3HQ. Head. You need to get crystal clear on what you truly want. I got to say this, too many people cannot really clearly define what they're going for. And so when you have to tune in and you have to simply state, what's the challenge? You can't be vague. What's the intention? Don't be vague. So as we move into step 2, I want you to think about a concept called change the channel. Change the channel is taking you from a low energy to a higher energy where your success hangs out. If you think about 3HQ, head, heart, highest self is where we change the channel. So in order to do this, I'm a big music girl, and I also have done a ton of research on the power of song and the power of your power song. This actually will help you elevate your vibration. So think about a song that when you hear it, it lights you up. Lights you up. What's your song? What is that song that you know? It's like, Hilary, when I hear it. And so I want you to know success lives at a higher frequency. So can I please help you get to that higher frequency? Let's move into step 3. And that is the movie in your mind. And this is all heart-based. I need you to visualize your future success. Remember your challenge, your intention. This is where you already know you've had the win. You already know it's happened. We're talking about like as clear as crystal. You are watching it on the big screen. It is 3D. It is all around you. You got to visualize your future success and feel it's already happened. This is the magic between taking it from the conscious brain to the subconscious brain. You got to feel it. It's got to be emotionally charged for your subconscious to wake up and say, hey, take note. Take note. This is important. So now as we go into step 4, I call it the micro pop action. We're back to the head. I want you to take a small but powerful action. Tune back into your power song. Think of the chorus. Let it go from your head to your toes. Neuroscience states that in order to really have that change of channel happen, you got to do it for at least 20 seconds. And guess what? It doesn't have to be hearing it. It could be hearing it in your mind. So it doesn't matter if it's in reality or if it's an imagination. Powerful action is what we're going for now. Because success loves speed, I want you to think about what is one thing that you can actually do in order to make that mini movie in your mind one step closer. So I had to learn this the hard way. When my world completely fell apart, I thought I had it all. I had the husband, I had the little kids, my health was great, I was jamming, I was doing everything I wanted. So yeah, on paper, perfect. When people looked at me, perfect. But down in the inner world, I felt completely lost. And all of a sudden, I got melanoma, I got a divorce. I'm like flat out on a bed when my mom handed me the book, The Secret, and said, you need to do something about this. And so I had to rebuild. I had to relaunch. I had to redefine not what wealth was to others, but what was wealth? What was a lifestyle of success really meant to be to me? And that's exactly what I'm going to help you do in this second season of this podcast. So what's next? We're not just talking about this. And as I go through, you're going to get to hear other people's stories. I'm going to share more of my own journey. I'm going to share more of my clients' journey. So I'm going to come to you and do more solo podcasts. Thank you. I appreciate the people who said, Hilary, we want to hear more. So I'm going to do that. And in the next solo podcast, I'm actually going to give you the beginning of a roadmap. We're going to dive into the first key that I've created in the relaunch process, the relaunch effect. And this helps you get to that place where you're like, I got key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 keys. And imagine you get to hear about each and every one, where you get to incorporate it into your rich life. And so we're going to talk about the clarity key, because if you don't know what you want, how can you build it? All right, your next level is waiting. Thanks for tuning in. This is amazing what we're doing right now. Relaunch into a rich life. If today's episode sparks something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Please share it. I'll tell you more later about how that actually helps you have more success yourself. Subscribe so you don't miss one episode. Let's create unstoppable momentum together. So until next time, keep relaunching, keep rising, and remember, it's go time.